Okay, so the Ashes third test is beginning and we have major updates from the Australian camp.
Yeah.
And we already knew the changes in the England camp a day earlier.
True.
James Anderson is not there. Ollie Pope is not there. Josh Tongue isn't there. The guy who got Steve Smith out twice is not there.
I think he was a little unfortunate to miss out, but I think there were times where he was pretty wavered also.
And also, considering the fact that he was a replacement for Moeen Ali, so that did not guarantee his place in the squad anyway.
Exactly. But the major news is, in kind of slightly overcast conditions and on a green deck, England have won the toss and chosen to bowl. Inserting Australia in on a green deck. Oh, okay, maybe the conditions might warrant a repeat of 2015 Trent Bridge. 18.4 overs, Australia all out for 60.
Or what could happen is what happened in the last test where England did the exact same thing. If I'm England, I'm hoping to actually get early breakthroughs this time.
Yep.
Because last time, remember, it's not like the ball wasn't swinging early on, but Australia survived it, and thereafter, once they were settled, the old ball did nothing whatsoever.
Yep.
So,
Nasser Hussain in the pitch report, he said that there is an even covering of grass. It's a hard deck. It's not soft, unlike how it was at the Oval. It's a hard deck. So the bowlers will enjoy their time at in this wicket. 3 changes for England
were confirmed yesterday.
Confirmed, but Australia too have made 3 changes. The big update is no Cameron Green. Because Cameron Green has suffered a low-grade hamstring strain. He's lucky. Everybody's saying he'll be back for the 4th test, but no Green now. And Mitchell Marsh is in.
Yeah.
Todd Murphy replaces Nathan Lyon, which is a much bigger blow for Australia because their 2 wins came on the back of Nathan Lyon's superb exploits in Edgbaston. But here they somehow made it through with the bat. You saw the courageous thing that Nathan Lyon did with a torn calf. He came in, scored 4 runs, shared a 15-run stand with Mitchell Starc. So, and the other major change, Scotty Boland is in and there is no Josh Hazlewood. Very surprising. I thought in this kind of wicket, Hazlewood would be your key bowler.
But then I don't know. Yeah, if you asked me, I would not have changed the bowling lineup.
Yeah.
The only one which, of course, enforced is that, Mitch Marsh comes in for Green, which is fair. Okay, that's injury induced, you can't help it. But is there any reason that the Aussies have given for sitting out Hazlewood?
No, I think it's purely on merit at this point and because of the conditions that are there. Because look at what happened at the WTC final, right? Scott Boland came in and for a few, he performed brilliantly, right? And at that point, there was no doubt that Scott Boland would make his way back into the Australian squad. And I think with the conditions that are there at the moment, and I think the conditions might continue tomorrow as well with the overcast conditions. So why not have someone like a Scott Boland when you know that he's so good at moving the ball and with his seam positions, and he's been very dangerous in that manner.
Yeah, the Edgbaston wicket was, if it was a kryptonite for James Anderson, it was a kryptonite even for Scott Boland. Maybe on this deck, considering
dangerous.
Look at the previous, they say like in the previous Ashes in 2021, Brisbane, Hobart, Melbourne, they were all a similar kind of a green. And we saw how Scott Boland performed in Melbourne and Hobart. So this kind of a wicket kind of is an advantage for England. Let's see, because Australia have had success batting first. And Australia always want to bat first. It may backfire on occasions like how it happened in Trent Bridge in 2015, but apart from that, I think they will be not too saddened that they are batting first on this kind of a wicket with slightly overcast conditions. And many people are also saying that maybe Hazlewood has a niggle. Many reports are not telling us.
To be fair, you have to remember he himself was coming off a pretty long injury layoff, and okay, fine, I can get behind that, because otherwise, the major miss, if you're asking me, for the 2 things really to watch out for. If you're looking at from both sides, one thing each. One is, how is it that Australia now managed without Lyon? See, I get that Murphy is a good young spinner, but Lyon is one of the best in the world at what he does. Exactly.
And remember,
you don't have that much of a like for like either, because again, Murphy, even in India, there were times when he wasn't consistent. And that's expected. He's young. This is his 5th test match overall. And the only reason he was really playing so much in India was because, truth be told, the conditions demanded it. That's one. For me, the other thing is, how does England's middle order cope now? Because again, Ollie Pope whilst he had been in great form in all fairness, but now you're going with a big risk of putting Harry Brook at number 3. Harry Brook,
Maybe Brook will be at 4, Root at 3.
But Root at 3 has not been as effective.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% sure he's there sticking with
Maybe
him at 4.
see, it's again the catch-22 of workload management. Remember, this isn't a 3-test series; it's a 5-test series. Maybe they will want to rotate all their pacers, considering the fact that yes,
World Cup is around the corner.
also World Cup, and also you have to understand this series ends this month, July. After this, 8 days later, you got another test match, and after that, you got 4-day changeover for the final test match.
Yeah.
That's it. So, primarily because of the lack of changeover, the high changeover rates, you will want to rotate your pacers and not risk long-term injury. As even Gargi pointed out, only 3 months to go for the ODI World Cup.
Right.
Out of that, Stark is a certainty in the World Cup. Hazlewood might be a certainty. Cummins is a certainty. Boland might not come into the ODI World Cup scheme of things.
No, I doubt.
Yeah, you'll have Zampa come in at that point in time.
Exactly, and the all-rounder there, they have multiple all-rounders. Marsh and Green. Green also has been playing across formats.
So Green will come back for the 4th test. So that's why 3 changes, 2 injury induced. Yeah, they're saying Hazlewood as a niggle, so maybe yes. Unfortunately that he has to miss out. He would have been lethal on this deck.
Exactly.
And remember, in 2019, Hazlewood got 5 wickets and got England all out for 67. It was a different matter that a certain Benjamin Andrew Stokes hit 135 of the most miraculous runs that he ever hit. That 2019 was the year of Ben Stokes. I mean, he won you the World Cup. He kept the Ashes dream alive single-handedly.
Single-handedly, because again, that England test team rather, was really...
On a prayer.
Exactly. On a prayer and Joe Root.
Yep.
But now that there's so many changes, we're looking at like, I don't know, maybe a 45% of like a different squad than before. What do we think? Who do you fancy?
Of course, Australia have the advantage going in.
Yeah. See, whether this kind of a wicket allows you to play that baseball style attacking cricket, that remains to be seen.
Hasn't been allowed anyway.
No, it was allowed. They have. It's not about them not allowing it.
Australia hasn't.
No, again, I think we're giving too much credit there. You know why? Because I'll be more harsh on the English batters who've thrown away their wickets at stupid times. That's not down to the bowling. That's down to their own, dare I say, idiocy. So I'm not going to take that away.
No one's talking about it. Why? Why will no one talk about baseball's failures? Because England are playing victim. You have to understand that.
And England are the victims here because it's self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
You are not actually, you have a plan which is great, but you're sticking to that plan even at a time when it's not working clearly. And truth be told, I mean, some of the shots are just stupid. They're dumb shots. You shouldn't be playing them.
Doesn't matter. They are victims because one guy got stumped.
No.
Against the spirit of the game.
Aside the spirit of the game. I think we've put it across very clearly at that point that spirit of cricket just doesn't come in here. There's nothing about that. I'm talking purely on the sport, purely in terms of cricket.
6 for 47 you lost in that first session.
You're collapsing because you're thinking baseball, but this I think would be the one pitch where they'd back themselves to play that way because they'll be batting second and fourth.
Yep.
It's the hardest pitch of the series so far. What is it that has supported baseball so far? Flat, hard pitches.
Yes, exactly.
This is a flat and hard pitch. So actually, for Australia, they need to get a big first innings total.
That's
but the advantage Australia have that their batting lineup isn't really that tempered with.
Yep.
It's more or less the same.
You've got Khwaja, Warner, Marnus Labuschagne, Steve Smith, then you've got Travis Head, Alex Carey, now Mitchell Marsh is coming in. Then you've got Mitchell Stark, who's no mug with the bat. Cummins is no mug with the bat.
Exactly.
8 proper batters. Then you've got Boland, Murphy, who are slightly bunnies.
Who are definitely tail-enders.
Yep. And have I missed one name? I only got 10. No, 9. There were 9.
2.
Yeah, Boland and Murphy.
Yeah. Boland Murphy.
9 batters. So yes, can happen. But before I come to the other point, let us take a moment and appreciate the genius of Steve Smith. It is his 100th test match. 9,119 runs with 32 centuries at an average of 59.8. No one has ever scored this many centuries and this many runs before their 100th test. And if you look at the 5-year period and 2,500 runs, which is the cutoff period, Steve Smith's average is a staggering 87 in a 5-year period. Bettered only by a certain God called Sir Don Bradman. Bradman's average in that 5-year period, it was from 1930 to 1935, 110 in 5 years. That was the genius. Credit to Steve Smith for being, and these are the words of Virat Kohli, the greatest test player in the modern era. It's Steve Smith. I mean, there's a video going viral on social media wherein Steve Smith with a blindfold can even recognize what is his bat number. Man, that guy loves batting.
I remember his wife telling a few tales about him that, he'd just bat alone in a room.
Oh boy.
He'd just throw the ball and throw the ball at the wall and then bat for hours and hours on an end.
That's what Bradman used to do with just a stump, a golf ball on an empty tank. You just practice his reflexes. And most of the Australian players, if you want to play a prank, what is the biggest punishment that you want to give Steve Smith? Don't allow him to bat.
Practice.
Cancel practice. So Smudge, a brilliant 100, and if you may ask me personally, one of the nicest blokes around in the cricketing world. You interact with him, you speak with him, always will greet you with a smile, always will give you very interesting anecdotes, and what a cricketing brain, what a batting brain he has. So congratulations to Steve Smith, 100th test match. And remember, Smith was not part of the 2019 Leeds miracle because he had a concussion. At Lord's that he suffered. So let's see how he can make a difference. Okay, now to England. Will that anger, the delusional anger that they have been carrying forward, to both of you I'll just ask, is that going to motivate them or they are going to commit harakiri?
It should motivate them, because again, it doesn't matter if it's perceived injustice, actual injustice. More often than not, things like these tend to foster a siege mentality. If you can actually channel that emotion rightly, I say it should. Other advantage which we were missing is the fact that they brought in Chris Wokes.
Oh,
you have to
brilliant against left-handers.
Not just that, but no, I'm not even talking about his bowling. I'm talking about his batting. People tend to forget the fact that this man is an all-rounder. So good is he with the ball, and unfortunately has the misfortune, you can say, of being an all-rounder or bowling all-rounder that his batting flies under the radar. He bats at number 9 if I'm not wrong in the white ball teams.
I think he's the only all-rounder in the modern era to get honours board mention both bat and ball at Lords.
Exactly. That's how good this guy is. So I'm very surprised that they actually had him out for this long. Maybe because of course they had to fit in. I think Robinson had been doing well. Anderson, Broad were sure shot starters. Now with Anderson sitting out, what Wokes does is not only give them consistency with the ball, but adds to the batting depth as well, especially considering they've also brought back a Moeen Ali. But the guy I'm looking forward to and who can trouble the Australians, Mark Wood. Yes, he'll be because I think now, remember in the last match, England were troubling Australia with the short balls as well. But what was the problem? They didn't have an express pacer who could ramp it up consistently. Wood is that person. They've made that change. I was a bit surprised that they went for Moeen. I thought they'd go for Ryan Ahmed. Yeah. But I think, because now they've really gone, if you're looking at the batting depth, if you're looking at, can we just open the playing 11? So it's switch. You have Crawley, Duckett, Brooke, Root, Bairstow, Stokes, Moeen, Chris Wokes. That's 8.
Even Mark Wood is a good bat.
And Wood, mind you, is no mug with the bat either. In fact, by the way, Broad is their number 11. Yeah. He himself is not bad with the bat at all if it really comes down to it. Can hang around.
Yeah.
So that's a decent enough batting lineup. And I think that's something I kind of expected them to do more. Considering the fact that you're going baseball and there's going to be a couple of reckless shots per innings bare minimum. Not talking about this Ashes, there's been about 5 every innings.
Yes.
But you need a deep batting lineup, and I like the look of this lineup. That being said, this lineup, if they started with from the first test of the Ashes, you wouldn't be staring at a 2-0 deficit right now.
Yeah, but look at it. England's always been the kind of team that would bat deep. Not just now. I'm talking. Look back.
Even
5-6 years behind.
The Strauss era. You look at it. There was Andrew Strauss, Alistair Cook, Jonathan Trott, Kevin Peterson.
Exactly.
Then you had Ian Bell. Then you had Matt Pryor. Then you had Graham Swan. Stuart Broad was a good bat at that time at number 8. Then you had the likes of Tim Bresnan,
who could hang around.
Yes. James Anderson also. Let us not forget. So 10 batters.
England's always batted deep.
And not just that, they've had one advantage which like say a country like India doesn't have, is that they've never had a dearth of fast bowling all-rounders. Someone like Wokes is a new ball bowler here. I mean,
you got Wokes and Stokes, 2 pace bowling all-rounders,
and Moeen Ali. So that's 3 all-rounders in your 11.
Oof. Okay, in the Indian context, Moeen Ali is like the Ravindra Jadeja or Ashwin of.
Yeah, but that's it. Otherwise, who's India's other all-rounder for tests? Shardul. That's it.
Hardik
doesn't play tests.
Hardik doesn't play tests.
Doesn't play tests. You can
there
say
you go.
they don't, except for Mitchell Marsh, there's none, if you can say, in the bowling all-rounder lineup for Australia.
Yeah, but that's also because they have very set roles in that regard.
Yeah.
They've, I think for years now, had this template where they've only needed one all-rounder.
Yeah.
Because their bowling itself has been so strong
Yes.
that they are good with keeping specialists. In fact, I dare say that their batting became much better the day they decided to do away with Tim Payne.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Carey has been a breath of fresh air in that role.
Brilliant.
Provides two things that Payne didn't: impetus and runs.
Yes.
Like I don't like being harsh on Tim Payne, a decent enough chap,
Yeah.
misdemeanors aside. But
I mean, under Tim Payne, Australia ensured they retained the Ashes in England after 18 years. So
exactly. But Payne with the bat, he was always
he was a
lacking.
liability.
He was really a liability. He was, I think, the rare Australian captain who was there only for his captaincy.
Yeah.
Poor guy just wouldn't do anything with the bat.
Exactly.
So with Carey there, it's transformed their batting, and really, again, if you look at the rest of their batters as well as, of course, the rest of their bowlers, they don't really need many all-rounders. With England, because their batting also right now, truth be told, is a bit of the inexperienced side.
Yeah. So
Because again, you have Zach Crawley, Ben Duckett, these are all relatively newer guys, let's say. Brook also, I think the most experienced players are Root, Bairstow, Stokes, Moeen. And even there, Bairstow has been kind of in and out of the test team in recent years.
Yep.
Stokes and Root, of course, are probably their linchpins. But see, that top order is inexperienced.
Yeah. But I think, okay, in the new baseball era template, you look at it, Crawley and Duckett.
No, I've been quietly impressed with how both of them went, because both of them...
Duckett in particular.
Yes, because otherwise, if you're looking at it, both of them at one point looked like no-hopers.
Yes.
Towards the end of the previous...
Joe Root regime.
Yeah,
Yep.
towards the end of the Joe Root regime, both of them looked like no-hopers.
Yeah.
For that matter, even Pope.
Yeah, Pope also. So, this is the situation. 3 changes in both teams. England, we already knew yesterday. Today, Australia have announced that Cam Green's out. Murphy will be the like-to-like for Nathan Lyon. And Scott Boland replaces Josh Hazlewood. But England, oh boy, they'll have to rewrite 87 years of history because they are 2-0 down. Only one side in the history of cricket has ever bounced back from being 0-2 down and won it 3-2. And that is Sir Don Bradman's Australian side. Bradman's side were down 0-2 and initially it was his first stint as captain. Can you believe it? They flipped the batting order in the third test at Melbourne. It was such a bad wicket. He promoted the tailenders. They were shocked. Why are you promoting the tailenders? You're so bad you won't hit the ball. Because it was swinging around here and there. The tailenders technique is such, they will say, you can't hit the ball, so stay out there. And it worked. The pitch eased out. Bradman and Jack Fingleton shared a stand of 346 for the 7th wicket. And Australia won 3-2. Can England's baseball warriors do the same thing?
I mean, at this pitch and with these conditions, you can bet on a good baseball game. But then, will it result in success? We don't know.
See, I'll give you one more credence to that. Headingley, what do you associate it with? Okay. 1981, Botham's Ashes. 149 following on. England were following on. 8 down. They had no business winning that.
Yeah.
Botham changed it with 149 along with Graham Dilley. 57 he made. Then Australia had to chase 130. Bob Willis 8 for 43. 500 to 1. Before Kolkata 2001, Leeds was the first instance of 1981. Team 1 following on.
Yeah.
Then 2001, 20 years later, Mark Butcher's 173 ensured England chased down 300 plus for the first time in the 4th innings. And then 4 years ago, we saw the Ben Stokes miracle. So if miracles can happen, it can happen at Leeds.
Yeah, I think Headingley is just the place where, like people talk about Lords being that venue for England. But Headingley is the place where they have the most fond memories of, iconic test matches. Just the 3 you mentioned are just off the top of your head. Anyone can tell you these were the ones.
Yep.
Like these are those test matches. They had no business winning.
Yep.
They did. And where was it? Headingley.
Headingley. And remember, even for India, there are great memories even in Headingley because 2002, similar green deck overcast conditions, they notched up 628 for 8.
Exactly.
Saurav Ganguly told the players, we back you. Batters, do your stuff. Dravid 148, 193 Tendulkar, 128 Ganguly. If Rohit Sharma was the captain there, India would not have won at Leeds.
They were bowled first.
Yeah. And remember, but unfortunately in 2021, what happened? India were batting first yet again. But Jimmy Anderson's sensational 3 wickets, 8 over spell, India were all out for 78. And then Ollie Robinson ensured that India had a big defeat. So mixed results, and Australia, by the way, last 5 tests, they have won 3 at Leeds, lost 2, but those 2 losses came in miraculous circumstances.
The Stokes miracle?
And the Butcher miracle, 173. So that is why this is the last chance alone for England.
Yeah, of course.
If a draw happens or if Australia win, the Ashes stays with Pat Cummins' side for 2 more years. A win for England, we head into the theatre of dreams, that's Old Trafford. And then if England come back in that style, oh boy, then it is going to be all to play for yet again at the Oval.
Yeah.
The venue of the World Test Championship final. But England can do it because in 2003, against South Africa, they were down 0-2. They leveled it 2-2. So,
okay, we are a few minutes away from the start of the test match. So
as far as you are telling me who's going to be the victor here, close one. I think this time I'll back England. Because I think they've got the right bowling lineup and the batting lineup.
I think, their team is more balanced now. I'll still back Australia in the sense that, or better yet, I think this test match will be a draw. I hope England can change my mind.
Yeah, that could happen.
I will add to that because rain is predicted on day 4.
But if rain is predicted, then you're going to see them do something crazy. So, let's
Then
see.
if they are doing crazy, then it is advantage Australia. But I think England do hold the edge in Leeds because they have won the toss and chosen to bowl. Maybe they can do a repeat of 2015 Trent Bridge or 2021. Let's see.
I'm calling either an Australia win or a draw.
Well, in that case, the Ashes stays down under.
Stays down under.
Let's see if
What
the Ashes,
what did you say?
Draw. I say a draw.
A draw. Okay.
let's see if
I'm the only one saying an England win. Okay.
No, I'm saying draw, hoping for an England win, but I think it will be a draw. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if the Ashes comes alive.
Yep, it's already been alive.
It's really alive at this point.
Yep, off the field, it's been really alive. Australia's asked for extra security because one of the players' mothers, I
Steve
think.
Smith's mother faced some abuse from the
yeah.
English
That's
fan.
unfortunate. Shouldn't be
And
happening.
then a few staff members' child also, went through a lot of negativity
Oh,
because
no.
the crowds were taunting the kid as well. So
Yeah,
as,
that's not.
as
That's-
soon as
Shouldn't be doing that.
as soon as someone's family members get recognized as Australian,
Yeah.
they
Unfortunate.
do face.
Do check out that video.
Don't involve. Just if you're there, if any of y'all are there in the match you're watching this, please don't involve family members.
Exactly. And remember, Lords, we thought, London, we thought it would be slightly more civilized. Leeds,
wasn't.
man. The
Leeds it's going to be
next level.
And if you remember, I think Headingley, one of the real highlights of 2019 was just how vocal the crowd got after a point.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to be seeing similar, crowds now the next 5 days. It should be fun.
I mean, the way how they rode after Stokes hit that boundary.
that was amazing.
Goosebumps moment.
Yeah, that was crazy good. Because as soon as he hit it, the entire crowd just erupted.
Yep. Oh yeah, Anshu Mishra, I said yes, he did play in Headingley, but he didn't play in the 2019 Leeds miracle. 2010 he scored 77 against Pakistan. I know that. I said 2019 miracle. Check back the video and then see.
Anyway, we'll take our leave for now. The test match is about to begin. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, tap the bell, leave us a comment. We love hearing from you guys. Follow us across socials. Download the Sportstalk app too and join us as we'll keep bringing you stuff. But for now, from Gargi, Sidvi and me, it is goodbye.
Bye-bye.